Hello student, I hope you are fit and fine and you are doing well at your home. This is online lecture of your 8th standard SS and the lesson which we are going to focus today is depending upon United Nations. Now this lesson will make you understand about the global challenges and the problem also. Apart from that, it will also show you the reason why United Nations has been established. So I hope you are having your textbook, and if you don't have in the case of your textbook, then obviously you can see on your screen, your screen will be making your textbook to be appear here, same as your textbook is displaying in your hand. So now we will be seeing on the screen. Now the screen will be showing you the basic detail related theory about lesson number 11, the United Nations. The United Nations is generated actually to make amalgamation, and it has organized to make the proper benefits between the people and to the people, and also it has been set up to make peace and amalgamation brotherhood relationship between the nations. You can see the flag of United Nations. Now if you go more further, you can understand that why do we need an international institute. See, if you talk about the massive destruction which has caused almost all the countries during the World War I, people of the World War wanted, or people of the world wanted, the peace. Peace can be relating with the concept of generating brotherhood, okay, and that's how we can say historical events, experiences and other things can be also related with this kinds of peace and security, and that's how we can say to establish an international organization to safeguard the peace in the world, United Nations or united different countries, a promotional international cooperation to promote that this cooperation was made out. So we can say the idea of international organization was represented by Woodrow Wilson. You must underline the name, okay. Then the president of USA, as a result, a League of Nations was established in the year 1920. Now what was the need of the League of Nations? See, League of the Nations has made most of the nations to come together and separate them from the armament. Now if you don't know the meaning of armament, it means the nations in the World War II, World War I were trying to emulate themselves to make more and more weapons. So League of Nations says that, and said in the time that they should come closer with a peaceful manner, and that is how we can say this was the first effort to establish such an international institute for the certain period of the time. League of Nations was also tired to prevent the world war, and that's how it broke once again into the dispute of diplomatically. That's how UN's league was failed at the time. So but it failed, and in protecting the weaker nation from the being attacked from the other reason, stronger nations, and as a result we can say Second World War actually broke out. That's why due to some kinds of reasons, problems, we needed to come closer and to make the United Nations. Now this was the general introduction of the United Nations. Now if you go more further, then you can get the more proper information related to the United Nations, as well as you can see the building also of the United Nations. This shows you that how deeply this United Nations has been framed out to make the people interest come in contact with each other, and also to make every possible amalgamation between the people. Now see, my dear student, one thing we need to understand, obviously every country has a parental court of department, same as if the world is having a parental court of department, then obviously everything is gonna become very interesting, proper and good to hear. Now if we talk about the World War II, which was more and more destructive, almost more destructive, because atomic bombs were used. You must have not forgotten the case of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which I have already told you and let you understood in the previous lectures or in the general discussion, okay. Now to the massacre of the people, we can say almost all the countries of the world were more or less addicted or affected. So it was a kind of havoc to the people and the country also, and that's how we can say formation of the United Nations organization was done, that is UNO. Now you can see the building here. Diplomats across the world were determined to free the world from the immediate danger of the world war, okay, and the war's effect also. So therefore Franklin D. Roosevelt, he was actually the president of USA, and he put in the effort to establish the world organization, okay. Now why it was made? It was made to make this world more peaceful, more loyal, a place where more livable persons can be living there. Okay, and that's how we can say the world organization was made out, which was actually resulted on the 24th October 1945. So UN, that is United Nations Organization, was established in order to sustain the peace as well as the world peace, and also it was promoted for the welfare for the people. So it was also called UNO, which is in the short now. Now it is also recognized at United Nations nowadays, which is starting from 51 nations as its member, and today we can say the number has grown from 193. You can see the headquarter is at United Nations is at New York. You can see all the flags are also there. Indian flag is also there. Okay, so furthermore we can say things to know. See, the tenure of the General Secretary of UN is for the 5 years, and he was also elected in the year 2011. So from the second post of his own, South Sudan, Africa became 193rd to join the country as well as UN. Okay, so the official language of UN are Arabic, Chinese, English, French, Russian and Spanish. These are the languages which are spoken here. Now one thing you need to commonly understand, my dear student, these languages also represent the permanent members of the UN. Okay, so that's how you can say that there are basic 5 permanent members of UN. Now, what are the objectives of the UN? The objectives of the UN is that, which is actually also mentioned in the charter of the UN Constitution, to maintain international peace and safety. Okay, then to promote the feeling of friendship among the members, to solve the economical problem, finance related problem, where countries suffering from pandemic situation, whatever the condition is there, UN is ready to help. Okay, as well as UN's participants are also ready to help that other countries here. So that's how to solve the problems. Okay, and if you go more further, then you can say to seek the help also for the cooperating people or from the other nations and all. Okay, to create the feeling of respect, human right, fundamental duties and principles, also UN is working out here. So these objectives are actually realized by the 6 organs of the UN. Now let's know about what are the basic short each example related to the 6 organs. Okay, that will be shown here. The United Nations Charter is now displaying on your screen. Secretariat, General Assembly, then Security Council. Secretariat implements the decision taken by the various organs of the United Nations. Okay, General Assembly, what it does, the organization of the country is ready to discuss and solve the international issues. Means if the issues are internationally attached, then we need to actually understand, or United Nations needs to actually go on the Secretariat General, and updated level, if international level is there, then we can go for the General Assemblies too. Now what is Security Council? See, it is safeguarding the international security too, related with the international trade, okay, commerce and lots of kinds of other things too. So this is how International Court of Justice solves the dispute among the member of nations. Trusteeship Council helps to acquire the freedom from the foreign rule, okay, as well as Economical and Social Council helps to improve the economical and social conditions, welfare for the people. So this is how United Nations is working into 3 by 3, 6 total organized group. Okay, now as if we go more further, we'll be understanding about the General Assembly too. This is the focusing picture image displaying on a screen about the General Assembly. You can check it out the screen. You can check it out how nicely this is actually made out here, and the meetings, General Assemblies, discussions are done here only. Okay, so as if you go more further, now a lady's figure is actually displayed on your screen. Who is she? I'll tell you out later. Okay, as we know that basically a General Assembly Hall is actually the biggest organ of the United Nations, which can also be called as the World Parliament. Now why it is called as World Parliament? Because something is different. Okay, the first thing is that it is the biggest organized organ of UN. Second thing is that whatever world politics are done, they are sought out here only. International peace and security are sought out here only. So it is a kind of a world parliament. Okay, so the representative of this member nation attend it. Every representative of the member nation attend it, and every member nation can send at least 5 representatives from their nations. Okay, but at the time of voting of the nation, one member can cast only one vote. Okay, so therefore we can say the general meeting is held once in the year, like 365 days consisting only one meeting. Okay, and apart from that, the general meeting is held only once in the year. Its members are elected, and we can say elected the president as well as the vice president of the meeting every year. So Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Pandit, who was also known as betterly the sister of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, okay, was elected as the president of the general meeting in the year 1953. Apart from that, we can say the assembly presented the Universal Declaration of Human Rights on 10th of the December 1948. Now, what was human rights? See, it is not given in the textbook. I like to tell you out here. I like to tell you out here. Human rights means you can protest for your country and you can get all the kinds of human rights, but before protesting and all, they gave us the human right, because actually we kept the proposal. Vijay Lakshmi Pandit kept the proposal. That's how we got the human rights too. So that's how we can say this lady is actually recognized today as Srimati Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. So this is how this lesson is going on. Okay, now see, what is General Assembly actually can be discussing out here. See, the General Assembly can be discussing and suggesting about the solutions, advices, issues with the world politics within the limits prescribed in the charter in the UN. Now, General Assembly immediately draws the attention of the Society Security Council towards any situation which can help and put the peace and security in the world danger. If two nations are about to fight, if two nations are not like cooperating each other, then this General Assembly could be very helpful for them. Okay, so the authority grants membership to the nations lies with the General Assemblies only. Authority is granted to the members who are actually the part of United Nations. That is how we can say General Assembly is working out here. Now, things to know is says that who from India was elected as the president of the meeting from the General Assembly of the UN. Answer, you know that basically Srimati Vijay Lakshmi Pandit. Other answers are also there that you can only make by yourself. Don't take help of anyone. Okay, and if you don't know really the answer, then you must go and get help from your teachers, friends, or the elders too. Now see, the next comes the Security Council. See, my dear student, in this lecture we are going to focus about all the 6 members, not the members, but the 6 all the categories of the UN's body. Okay, so now comes the Security Council. Now, what is Security Council? See, generally we can say that it is the most important organ of the UN. Okay, it is most important organ of the UN. It has 15 members. Out of this, we can say 15 members. 5 members are permanent member. Now see, which are the 5? USA, Britain, France, Russia, okay, China are the basic prime members, you can say, or the we can say permanent member also. Now, the other 10 members are elected for the term 2 years only, okay, for the term 2 years. And that is how we can say the Security Council enjoys tremendous power to manage the peace and security in the world. And that is how it is also one of the aim to solve the disputes between nations. Diplomatic long possible as long as possible problems are sorted out here. And we can say the head of the United Nations is also known as the Secretary General here. So he is actually appointed by the General Assembly, and at the recommendation of the Security Council, he works as a chief administrating officer of the UN. Means a person who is known as the chief executive or chief administrative officer of UN is actually elected by Security Council in the General Assembly too, and voted by other people. So this is how we can say this lesson is making you understand about the theory and the concept related to the whole UNO. Now, if two countries fights are going between, and there is a rule propounded by United Nations which is not subsequent, which is not satisfiable rule, then any of the nation among the 5 nations can use its veto power. Okay. So what is veto power? First of all, we understand the veto power or the right to deny, say no, is a negative vote casted among the proposal in the Security Council. It means it is necessary for all the 5 permanent members of the Security Council to agree over a decision. Just for example, Kashmir, some part was separated from India, now we took it back. Okay, so somehow China was supporting Pakistan in the United Nations Organization's Council meeting, General Assembly, that it must be given back to the Pakistan. But according to the 1947 survey and according to the 2019 and 2020, we can say that land belongs to us. So we removed Article 370 and we took the land back. Okay, so at that time, Russia was about to use the veto power because Russia was not agreeing if UNO is giving power to Pakistan and China to take their part of land back, okay, which was actually not belonging to them. So that's how we can say it's only used by the Security Council to agree over the decision, and the permanent member can be only taking the right opportunity generally to bring back any kind of decision. Okay, so Security Council and the veto power is actually workable here. Now see, some special organizations are also there in the United Nations. Now, what are the special organizations of the United Nations? First of all, the main objective of the United Nations is to foster the social, economical, cultural, educational development of the people. Apart from that, we can say it also needs to generate some employment. It means United Nations also help us to establish the industries as well to give the foreign opportunities for the laborers, workers, engineers, doctors, or whatever the other people are there. Okay, to achieve this objective, various organizations have been also established, and they are working specifically under the leadership of United Nations. So this lesson is making you understand and aware about the systematic development of United Nations. Now see, if it is working so much properly, then it must be working in the cooperation with India. Okay, so cooperation of India to the United Nations. India has actually adopted a strategy of solving disputes since from the ancient time. Okay, with the other countries. We are not the people who are fighting always with the other country, and that's how we can say UN. India has actually always contributed large scale peacekeeping forces to the United Nations also by sending soldiers. As well, we can say wherever required, India was ready to help UN. So Indian delegates on the various doctors treat wounded soldiers also in the Korean War. Apart from that, Indian delegates on the various posts are also there in the UN. They have contributed lots of welfare with their knowledge and experience. So India's contribution as a member of Security Council and other organ has always been noteworthy. So the great ideas of Panchashil are also gifts of India only to the world. So that's how we can say India's reputation in United Nations is standing very, very powerful, and we are thus getting a proper respect also and a proper position also in the United Nations. So same as we can say that ray of hope to the human race. Now how human race can be progressed well? Okay, see, if we talk about if all the countries of the world cooperate with the United Nations, world peace can be obtained in the real sense. And that's how for this it is necessary that every country resolve and stop the production of deadly weapon. First of all, we should stop the weapons. See my dear student, why do we need a weapon? We need a weapon because we are not feeling safe on the borders. But why the borders are made? Because other people are trying to get our land back. In between, the weapons are needed to protect our land. So weapons actually must not be used out. So here we should be living peacefully. That situation should not be coming out there, we can use the weapon. So crores and crores of the rupees are actually, we can say, saved, and they are raised also increasing the weapons in the country. So that's how we can say if money can be used for the welfare of the people, obviously weapon can be let aside. Now Earth is actually one planet where we need to live. It's a common thing. Thus human beings have to aim to achieve world peace, not the fighting mode, not the world mode, and they should be betterly going from the world peace to the universal brotherhood. They can easily make this world a place of beauty to survive, and that is how UN needs to give a message to everyone. So I hope this lecture made you understand, my dear student, a detail and a great knowledge related to the UN and UN development. And apart from that, if I talk about the relative factor of this United Nations, then I would say that the United Nations is a kind of a branch, or it's a kind of a systematic organized sector which is trying always to make every success accomplished, every country to be politely meeting with the other country, doing trade, commerce, okay, launching their whatever new brands are there, and giving and taking human resources also, as well as their material and power energy resources too. That's how we can say United Nations may be becoming successful if everybody is supporting to UN, and stopping of the ammunition war plus machinery must be also done. So I hope this lesson was interesting and you enjoyed also. And never fight in the life, always try to go on the Gandhiji's path, that is truth and non-violence. So we'll be meeting you in some other chapter portion. Till then, you can take care, keep smiling, and be healthy, be happy. Jai Hind.